When Alexia Jorge was 3, her father needed an extra player for her older brother's t-ball game, and a love affair of baseball was born. That love affair carried Alexia through Little League, through high school baseball at Lyndhurst High, and now to the college ranks, where she is the first female player in the tri-state area to play NCAA baseball. Alexia is a freshman catcher at St. Elizabeth University, and she's our guest today on this episode of the Jersey Baseball Show. Welcome, everybody, to a special episode of the Jersey Baseball Show. Today, we speak with Alexia Jorge, the catcher, freshman catcher at St. Elizabeth University, first female college baseball player in the state of New Jersey, and just finishing her first fall season at St. Elizabeth, really the first full year that the program has had, because that's what happens when you try to bring a program on right in the middle of a pandemic. And welcome to the show, Alexia, and certainly happy to have you here.
Thank you, Mike. Happy to be here.
Absolutely. So first of all, congratulations, right? I mean, because you're getting to live out your dream of playing college baseball, right? I mean, and
Right.
Really, that was the dream from right at the beginning, right?
Absolutely. From day one.
Yeah. So what I find pretty awesome, and I don't know that everybody knows your day one story, the first time you were out on the baseball field, and I'm sure you're probably tired of telling it, but that's okay, because we're going to make you tell it one more time. That this
Awesome.
is 3-year-old Alexia here on the baseball field for the first time, and want to hear how what happened.
So basically how it happened was my brother was 5 at the time, and he was playing t-ball, and my dad was the coach of the team with a couple of other parents, and then they needed an extra player. They were like one short, ironically enough. And they were like, you know what, we can't find anybody, let's just throw my daughter out there. They didn't really realize, because I was 3, but I was like a bigger 3-year-old than some other 3-year-olds, I guess. So my dad was like, yeah, let's just put her in left field, sorry, and just let her play, have fun. So I ended up playing with my brother's t-ball team for that year, and every year after that, it's just been baseball. And my dad actually asked me after I was done with t-ball, he was like, "Do you want to, continue playing baseball, or do you want to switch to softball?" And I said, "No, I want to play baseball." And I was like 5, maybe. I don't remember exactly, but I was close to that age. And ever since then, it's just been baseball.
What was it about it that made you want to keep playing?
I just loved it. I mean, I was very young when I made that decision,
Yeah.
and I don't think the only thing that I could describe it as was love. And even to this day, that's what drives me in the sport. I just love the game, and there's really no other reason for me to be playing if I didn't love it,
Certainly not at this level, right? I mean,
No, absolutely not.
when you get to the college level, it's what's the time commitment? St. Elizabeth's a pretty new program, obviously, but for some people who say the D3 experience is not whatever. Let's be real. I mean, this is like another job you have, isn't it?
It is, yeah, definitely. It's a daily grind. Like, we wake up, sometimes we have 5:00, 5:15 practice setups in the morning, and then after that we go out throughout our day with classes, and then we practice later on, or get a lift in later on. And then you go to work if you have work, or you got to do schoolwork. It's just a loaded schedule, but like, honestly, I love it. There's nothing else I'd be rather be doing with my day.
For sure, yeah, absolutely. No, obviously the game's given you some incredible experiences already, right? At the age of 18, 17, 18.
18
So
currently.
had the chance to compete for the U.S. in a national competition, right? Win a gold medal at the Pan Am Games. Be the first to do all sorts of things along the way already. What's been your favorite thing that you've gotten to do as a result of playing?
Definitely playing with the national team. We that was just the greatest experience of my life. Actually, I was 15 when I made the team. You're supposed to be 16 because of travel restrictions and stuff like that, going to different countries.
And you said no big deal. I started playing t-ball when I was 3.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so I made it when I was 15, and the only reason they took me was because my birthday was the day before the tournament started. So my birthday is August 17th. The tournament started August 18th. And well, I'm just that was the best experience I've ever had. Just being able to wear USA across your chest and playing something for playing for something bigger than yourself was emotional. Like it made you feel so good, and just there's nothing like it. It's hard to explain, and you just feel so honored to be given that opportunity to play for the national team. And everybody's great out there. Everybody is it's unbelievable. It's one big family, even though you don't even know anybody to start off with. You know what I mean?
And you had to be the youngest, I'm guessing, by a pretty good margin that was
Yes.
playing, right?
Yes, I was. So I was the youngest. I was 16. There was other 16-year-olds, but they were just turning 17. But I believe I'm the youngest to ever make the national team because of where my birthday was and stuff like that. But our age for the team, it goes from 16-year-olds to our oldest player, who is 40. She's her name's Malika Underwood. She's a stud. But yeah.
So all these great experiences, obviously, but with anybody who's the first to do something, and you being the first to play, first female to play at Lyndhurst High School, obviously growing up in a historically great baseball area.
Mm-hmm.
Now the first female in New Jersey, and you said we believe in the tri-state area to play NCAA baseball. I'm sure there have been naysayers or doubters or people along the way saying, "Was this some sort of publicity stunt? Why is she doing this?" It seems like you've always had a great attitude about that. Is that something that came from your parents? Is that something that you just kind of realized, hey, the best way to deal with this is I'm going to just shut up and play and show that I deserve to be here, and just kind of they'll see.
Yeah. So how that kind of came about was my parents. My mom, she's always very she's like, "Oh, let me handle it. If anything, let me handle it." But when it came to what happened?
That's a typical mom, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but especially with like the parents and stuff, she was like, I'll just deal with it. If anything, she didn't really she wasn't very argumentative with anybody. If they're gonna say what they're gonna say. And same thing goes with on the field. She would always say, just play it out, right? If you do good, you'll shut them up and they'll walk away. They're not going to stop. They'll stop. Sorry. And then, obviously, like I'd have some on field encounters where kids were just straight up kids or guys. And it's just something that you kind of develop, and you really have to think about yourself and say, why am I here? Am I here to deal with that stuff that goes on, or am I here to play baseball? And obviously I'm here to play baseball, so I didn't really care about whatever else was going on. I just kind of turned the switch and turned it off and ignored it. And that's really what you have to do. And sometimes what I did, it was after say something was bad, something bad was said, something stupid, whatever. And it affected me, and it got to me a little bit. I'd pick up, if it was a turf field, pick up some dirt, look at it in my hand, think of that as what was said, what was done, what was whatever, and I just throw it away and wipe it off. And it was gone after that. You know what I mean? So I kind of just developed it after a little while, and really just noticed what was better for me.
It seems like that noise usually tends to come from the stands more than it does from the players know, and players, that they might give you a hard time for a second or two in the beginning, but they tend to shut up pretty quickly when you prove that you belong.
Definitely.
and I'm basing, a lot of this too on, our Legion team, Hopewell, when we took that over in 2015, Allison Coryell, our manager's daughter, came in as our first base coach and hitting coach, and certainly proved very quickly that she belonged there. Was a great college player, great softball player, still is. If she hears this, I have to say that she still is. But after a while, like you would hear some stuff in the stands, like at the start, is that a girl coaching first?
Mm-hmm.
And by like 2 or 3 innings in, and she proved that she should be there. There was nothing else. It was like It was over. And you earn respect by the way that you go about your business.
Definitely.
So what was the fall like then? You're making, what was the your first experience of college baseball? I mean, you mentioned the crazy hours and the grind, but it's obviously something you would never change for anything. I mean, this is like, what's the first semester of freshman baseball like?
I mean, there's so many things we did this fall. There's nothing like it. I mean, we grinded every day. We, became a family day by day, and we just worked. It was straight work, straight business. And I mean, I think I had a good experience. It's kind of tough when there's 50 guys in a lineup and you're trying to earn your spot as a freshman. It's not easy, but I'm not the only one dealing with it. 50 other guys are dealing with it, you know what I mean? Or the rest of my freshmen are dealing with it. And so, that's what kind of makes it great. And you know that you're in the same boat as everybody else and you have the same opportunity. And this fall was just so much fun. I mean, like I said, we became a family together, and I think just having practices, like having individual practices, not like run by the coaches and stuff like that, off to the sides, where we just go hit, throw, whatever, with all the other teammates. Those were important to me, making those relationships with my teammates, and just getting to know them, you know what I mean? But playing wise, we had fun. It's a fun group. We are very vocal. Everybody's everybody's just great. It's fun. It's fun to be with them and compete with them, and they really make you try to take it to a next level, that to make yourself better.
So you're a catcher.
Correct.
What attracted you to play in that position particularly? What is it about you as a player, your personality, I mean, it's obviously a take charge position. It's obviously a head's got to be in the game all the time position. Was that always kind of like the natural spot for you, and something that you just really enjoy the most?
Well, I actually got into catching. I was in coach pitch, I believe, and they needed a catcher. None of the other guys wanted to do it. And my one coach was like, "Hey, you're the biggest kid here. Let's put you behind the dish." And so ever since then, I was probably about 5 or 6 when that started. And ever since then, I mean, I just love thinking. I like to be involved with every play. I love giving signs, like pitches and stuff like that. It's just like, for me personally, I'm very observant, and I know how to deal with different situations. So for catching, it's kind of like, oh, I know what this batter did at his last at bat. All right, I'm going to move my outfielder over. I'm going to do this, or I'm going to throw him a curveball. You know what I mean? So my brain is constantly moving. And, that's something I loved about catching. And honestly, just being back there. I like talking to the umpire, talking to the other team sometimes. I'm a very vocal person. I don't like to be quiet. And so, but catching it's just been my natural position ever since I started playing, I think. And, I love it.
What's the scouting report? Well, you like to pick up on things in the scouting report. What's the scouting report on Alexia Jorge?
Oof, like where to pitch to me?
No, I don't know that. I mean, what I heard and seen some clips, obviously, a really good defensive catcher. Really, as you said, perceptive, but certainly good, framing the pitches and handling pitchers. I mean, is that what you would say is the strongest part of your game.
Absolutely, yeah. I think I call a very good game,
Hmm.
and I'm able to keep the ball in front of me. And I really have a good pitcher catcher relationship with almost all my pitchers. If I don't have a good relationship with them, it's because I've never caught them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Um, but I think that's definitely one of my strong suits, and I just really focus on trying to get better at it every single day. Whether it's watching videos, watching my videos, Instagram, like any way I could get better, I try, and just trying to learn from myself, because that's the only way that you're really gonna improve and get to that next level. But no, yeah, definitely blocking is I love blocking. So fun. I don't know why people say catching is like the worst position. I love it. Like there's I don't think that there's a better position on the field.
So we're running this at the same time we're running a series of high school guys who are, in the process of signing their letters of intent this week. And one of the questions that I've asked all of them is, tell us about your recruiting experience and how that journey went. And it kind of dawned on me that your recruiting experience is going to be completely different, right? Just because how many coaches have seen a female high school player
Hmm.
sending them clips, sending them information. What was your journey like, as far as recruiting, sending things out, getting responses from people? Um, what was it like, and how did it lead you to St. Elizabeth?
Well, I started off by going to scouting events, obviously. So showcases, that helps you get your name out there a little bit more. And then my senior year, I started sending out emails. I sent out a lot of emails, and I think I only got one in response. It was from Lynn University in Florida, and the coach said his roster was full already, which is D2 school, I believe.
Hmm.
So at that time, arguably, it should be full.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so I probably sent out almost 100 emails and only got that one response, with my video attached with a little bit of a description about me, and so on. But so how I found St. Elizabeth, I went to a showcase for them, and the main reason why we went there was because we realized, hey, this was an all girls school. Opportunities might be a little bit better there, right? They might be open to, so you know what I mean, open to a female baseball player, and so we were like, hey, let's just give it a shot. So I go to the camp. It's a good camp. Coach, I met Coach Freeman there, Coach Centrone, and then I just went to more. That was more my sophomore year of high school, I believe. I started going to camps my freshman year. So I've been, making my way around with that, with showcases and stuff like that. But St. Elizabeth, I went to a couple more showcases down the road a couple years later, and I was like, you know what, I really like this school. I like the coaches, and I went to this one showcase where it really kind of sealed the deal for me. Um, it was we had, I forget where it was, but there was players from the team that were existing, and I kind of interacted with them a little bit, and they actually pulled me over to the side. And I remember one of my players, one of my good friends on the team now, pulled me over and he goes, "Are you trying to play baseball here or softball?" And I said, "Baseball." And he turned around, looked to all like the 7 other guys that were with him, and he was like, "That's sick." And then everybody else was agreeing with them, and just talking to me about it, and that really made me feel like I was at home, and before I even committed to the school. And just having that interaction with the team really kind of closed the deal for me, because I already knew the coaches were cool. I dealt with Centrone, Coach Centrone, for a couple catching caps that I liked.
Hmm.
Freeman for a whole bunch of different other things, with obviously the showcases. And then one day I just emailed them and I was like, "Hey, Coach Freeman, I kind of want to join your program. Um, you know, what can I do?" And yeah, and it's all from there.
That's awesome. That's a great story, and it's a great story to remind everybody to, you know, kind of light. Well, I'm sure you didn't like it at the time, but the first batch of emails, the response rate, because it kind of showed how bad you really want it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It'd be pretty easy to just give up, and B, to just kind of keep pushing for make your journey happen.
Right.
So that's like an invaluable lesson for anybody watching. What is kind of the goal after college then? I mean, because I guess there's hope of and talk of a professional women's league eventually, but is the goal beyond that? Even you see what like a Kim Ng is,
Right.
now as the first female general manager, of the Marlins. I mean, is a kind of like a role like that kind of the ultimate for you then to stay in baseball, or no, not really?
Well, yeah. So basically, what I plan to do after college is I do want to play professionally, men's and women's, because I know that's coming. Um, and I know people that have done men's professional baseball already. So that's on my list. And then obviously after my playing career, I do plan to coach. I plan to, just stay on the field somehow. I don't care if it's coaching, managing, like athletic training, whatever it has to be. You know what I mean? Umpiring, I don't care.
Oh, no, umpiring. No. But you're a sports management major, right?
Correct. Yeah.
So chances are there's going to be some way to I mean, you're in the right
Right.
major for it, obviously.
Right. And that was also another reason I chose St. Elizabeth, was because they had that major, and that was important to me. But funny you actually mentioned Kim. I went to a breakthrough series event where she was leading the whole thing before she was with the Marlins. And I actually had the opportunity to talk with her a little bit about baseball and stuff like that. And you could just tell she's just super smart. Like, it's insane.
Yeah.
She knows what she's doing, and it's crazy. It just, like, you could just sense it. It's hard to explain. But no, definitely I do want to get into coaching and managing after my playing career is done, and after there's something for me to do go on with my career. It's definitely been on my radar since I was little, and it'd be awesome to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I want to kind of end up with this. I have a 9-year-old daughter. Was hoping she would come on here, but she's not ready to make her camera debut. But she's asked, Dad, can I play baseball? And I say, yes, of course you can do anything you want. But it's, after a while, it's your dad saying that.
Right.
It's like, all right, I believe you, but you're not a girl playing baseball. What do you know?
Right.
I know you're not doing it to be a trailblazer,
Hmm.
but I'm sure you also realize that you do have, you are visible. You do have an impact on, a lot of young girls who might be thinking the same thing. What would you say to them as far as, your experiences, kind of positive, negative, everything, just sort of the big picture? What would you say if they wanted to, if they ask you, can I play baseball?
I would say, why can't you? Right. As long as you work hard, give it all you got, and never stop, you should be fine. You should be successful. As long as you love what you're doing, why shouldn't you be able to do it? Right. No matter who you are. If they want to do anything, don't hold them back. Right. It's their life. It's their choice. And, if they think they could be good at something, why stop them? If they're going to give it their all, why stop them? You know what I mean? And, I just think if it's usually with the parents too, the parents are like, oh no, you can't play baseball because you're a girl. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
if the parents just give their children that opportunity, like my parents did, and great things can happen, and they're not going to regret it.
Definitely. I am thankful and appreciative of your time today. Not just a great catcher, but also a great representative of St. Elizabeth's, of the game itself. And we wish you the best and all the success, and look forward to your first official spring game in the coming up in 2022.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mike.